In this guide, I'll show you how to make your iPhone easier for the elderly, and we can do this by placing our iPhone in accessibility mode. So this will just make the iPhone a lot easier to use for a senior person. It's going to make all of the applications a lot bigger on the screen, a lot of the fonts and a lot of the text, all of that will be bigger. Also, some of the functionality will be limited, and it's just going to simplify a lot of the settings on our phone. So in order to do this, you first need to make sure you have iOS 17 installed on your device or above. So we can check this just by coming into the settings menu on our iPhone, scroll down to general and press software update, and just make sure your phone's up to date here. Like I said, anything above iOS 17 will be absolutely fine. And then we can come back over to the general settings, come back over to the main menu, and from the settings page, we need to scroll all the way down to accessibility and click this. Then come down again and select assistive access and press this. So this assistive access is basically the senior mode on your phone. So we can enable this just by clicking set up assistive access, click on the continue button, select the Apple ID that you want to be using on your iPhone. So if you're setting up the account for someone else, I'd recommend using their Apple ID. Then we can go ahead and press continue. Select which appearance that you'd like to use. By default, we have grid selected, but you can also change this to rows if you prefer. Personally, I think grid makes it a lot easier to use, so I'm going to keep this selected and press continue. Now you should come to the select apps screen, and from here we can select the apps that we want to be added to this assistive access mode. So by default, you can see all of the main apps are added here already, like calls, camera, messages, music, and photos. You can also add third-party applications down here if you want to add some extra ones. I think these default ones cover the majority of cases, but there could be some things that you want to add in here, like the clock, for instance, or perhaps you want to add something like the Facebook app. We can do that here. You will get this screen pop up asking if we can access certain parts of the device like Bluetooth. So I'm just going to select allow Facebook to access Face ID. Again, this is really optional. I'm going to select don't allow for this. Press continue. Allow Facebook to access contacts. Allow, continue. Media and music, we can also press allow and continue. And the camera, we're going to press continue. Then just go through each of these steps. I'm going to allow most of this stuff here. The microphone, allow. Photos, we can also allow and just press continue. And then finally, location as well, and then just press continue. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you do want these default apps added down here, they won't be added automatically. You'll just need to press the plus symbol for each of these. Just click this little plus symbol next to it. And from here, you'll have a few options in each of these apps that can make the app just a little bit easier to use. So for example, in calls, we have receive calls from, and this will limit who we can receive calls from on the assistive mode. So you can just select everyone, and that way you can receive calls from any number. You could select all contacts to try and, block spam callers and that kind of thing. Then we can come down to make calls to selected contacts. And again, you can just select which contacts you're able to make calls from. You can choose to have dialer keypad on. I think I'm going to enable that. In call options, we're also going to enable keypad in speaker and press continue. So just go ahead and make sure you go through all of these applications, the messages, the camera, music, and also photos if you want these applications added. And just make sure to press the plus symbol next to each of these, and that's going to add it to this selected apps list at the top here. So once you've gone through all these applications and optimized them for how you see fit, then we're just going to press the continue button at the bottom. And here's just a little bit more information about using this assistive mode. So for the emergency services, for instance, you can just triple click the side button on your phone, and that's one way we can call the emergency services super quickly. It makes it a lot easier for someone elderly. Then when you finish in here, just press continue again. Then we need to set up some settings about how we unlock and access our iPhone, so press continue. Select your assistive access passcode. This is different from our iPhone password. This is just how we exit out of the assistive mode. So I'm going to select something really simple here, just something like 0000. Then re-enter the assistive passcode. You can also set up a recovery Apple ID in case you do forget that passcode. Mine's super simple, so I'll just select not now, although it is recommended to set one of these up. Now, in order to exit out of assisted mode, all you need to do is press the side button on your phone 3 times, and that's going to exit out of here. So we're just going to press continue for now. Now, as you can see, assistive access is ready to use. So we're just going to go ahead and press start using assistive access. type in the code that we literally just set up now. So I'm going to type in 0000, and that's going to put our mode into assistive access. So just give this a few seconds to boot up. If this is your first time using assistive mode, then this can take 20 to 30 seconds to get going. So once your phone is finally booted up assistive access mode, this is what it will look like on the screen now. You can see everything is super simplified and all of the icons are a lot bigger, so it's a lot easier to use and see. Some of the functionality is limited here, so it makes it a lot easier for elderly people to navigate through. And it's as simple as that, guys. That's how you set up your iPhone for the elderly. If you did find this video helpful, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing.